The following podcast is fan-made and in no way associated with Steam, Valve Corporation, or your mother. Also, it contains highly explicit language, so get the fuck out if you don't want to hear it.
You're listening to the Late Night Steamer podcast, Steam Gaming, with character.
Holy crap, it's time for the Late Night Steamer podcast! I would say part of the Geek Insomnia Network, but that's not actually true. I'm not even sure what network we would be a part of. It certainly wouldn't be a good network.
Are we really even part of a podcast anymore?
What's that?
Are we really even a podcast anymore?
I don't know. What is a podcast? I think that's part of a better quizzical question to ask these days.
Well,
Anyways.
It started on something you could get on an iPod, and that's where it came from.
I think, but podcasts have transcended well beyond iTunes and iPods, for that matter.
And it was they actually started well before podcasts came around.
The following
they weren't
podcast is fan-made
It's looping.
and in no way associated
Stop looping.
with Steam.
When the hell did this thing start looping? Oh, well, anyway,
netcasts, but
it's the LNS podcast, nonetheless, something to listen to during Respawn Timers Season 4, Episode 84, recorded live on March 29th of 2014. I am your host, Sir Viper 4580, that was absent last week, and thank God I was too, because what the fuck was that, guys? Good God. Anyway, with me this week is probably our MVP, Randark. Thank you, Randark.
Most valuable podcaster with a loud dog. I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
that was amazing timing.
Yeah, I know. That dog actually answered for you. It was great. And, of course, the man with a master plan but never really quite executes it. It's Linux for life.
That was definitely true last week.
And, of course, someone who hasn't been on the show in quite a long time, actually. We got Tanakila.
Hello.
She's
somewhere much better than this place.
Yeah. I would have rather have been to Italy myself, but, you know.
The weather was nicer.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Absolutely sure of it. So, Linux, how did the show go last night? Or last week, I should say.
Last night.
Yeah, last night.
If it was last night, I wouldn't be here right now.
To be fair, I actually thought that you and Andy did a pretty good job with what you guys had to deal with. Andy was not exactly in the best place of mind to host a show, and I kind of felt bad because I did put that on him, and he did well for everything he had.
Probably would have been better if. So what I did was I said, "Oh, I'll have plenty of time on fucking Saturday to get the show all prepped, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Get OBS all set up and stuff. What I need." Unfortunately, I became very busy on Saturday. When Saturday actually came, I didn't even get downstairs until about 8 o'clock or so, and then I had a couple things I had to do for my own stuff, so I did that, and then must have been about 8 o'clock or so, 8:30, when I had first tried getting Dropbox so I could download everything, and Dropbox wasn't working for me for whatever fucking reason, whether it was because I was like on panic mode because of how late it was already getting.
Yeah.
I knew how much work it was going to be to set everything up, or I don't know, but I couldn't figure out how to re-add myself to the. I could have probably just logged in with the Dropbox account, to be fair, and added myself that way too. But I sent DJ a message and add me to Dropbox, and he finally sat down at his computer at like 15 of time to go show, and then I was added. So then it was definitely scramble mode to get everything downloaded and added, which none of it really mattered because we didn't use any of it really.
Yeah.
When it came down to it.
Pretty much.
And then to start the show, we just Twitch decided it was going to freak the fuck out as well. So it was a colossal nightmare all around.
Gotcha. Well, like I said,
playing
go
a
ahead.
game like that live,
Welcome to my world.
One that I've never played is definitely tough, and I felt like a complete idiot playing this guy's game and not knowing. Now, granted, he enjoyed, I think, a little too much at times. The commentary coming out of my mouth, but it was quite colorful. Let's just say.
Oh, I believe it. I definitely believe it. But like I said, I think all around you guys did as good as you possibly could with the circumstances, and you missed me, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It was different without you hosting it, without you directing it, and I think that was, as much as we've talked in the past about, maybe somebody else driving OBS while you host. You would have to be basically in the same house to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It takes a lot of work to set this up, man. So,
that was also some of the issues was, I wasn't lining up at the beginning of the show directly with where Andy wanted to start when he wanted, so it was a little.
Yeah.
And of course, we had a guest, so we were trying to hurry up to get started on time. And...
Well, one of the things I've noticed, especially for me, because I mean, I got a lot of buttons to press when we switch scenes. Like when we get into a certain groove, you guys like start firing off all the different sections, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta press the buttons now. So it's tough if you're not waiting for those cues, but it's podcasting. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? All right.
It's even better than that. It's amateur podcasting at its finest.
Oh, I don't even think it's amateur podcasting. We don't do that bad. Come on now. So we got a sponsor this week. Do you want to say this one, Randark? Because I think you typed this one in. Randark?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
VelvetPaintings.com. Do you need a nice new velvet painting for your orgy room? Are the ladies just not feeling it quite right? Do they need some inspiration? Well, at VelvetPainting.com, we have everything you need. Need a painting of a ship? We got that. Need a painting of a devil shitting with a cigarette in his mouth? We got that. And if you don't, you should. VelvetPaintings.com, everyone. Go visit. Get a velvet painting.
That was even better than you typed it out.
I know. That's quality podcasting right there. That's quality podcasting. All right. So for those of you listening to the show on Stitcher, well, we're not even on Stitcher. I don't know why. What the heck did people do to this?
These show.
No, it's from last week. It's from last week. I swear to God, somebody fucked with that. Anyway, for those of you listening to the show on Twitch or on YouTube, you can check our next live stream out over at twitch.tv/late night steamer for live giveaways, group discussions, and a blister on the nether regions. That's right. That's right. We'll let that joke settle in. That's what she said. Literally. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, well, when I'm on the show, because I don't think anyone else could do it, we're going to do the Steam Roulette this week. So let's go ahead and get the rolls done now, and then we'll go ahead and get that done later. I don't have my browser set up on here, I don't think. Let me see if I can fix that.
If it's a multiplayer game, I'll join in this week.
Cool. Very, very cool. There we go. I think
last week when you had that the last episode when you had that multiplayer, that was an epic fail.
Oh yeah, that was.
There wasn't even anybody playing on any of the server.
Yeah. I don't know why it won't do this now. All of a sudden it's like, there we go. Okay. So now that we got the Steam Roulette open, let's go ahead and spin the wheel for the first game. It's Offspring Fling. That's game 1. Spin the wheel again.
That was sexy.
That was very sexy. Serious Sam 3 BFE. So we got some real good games. Yeah. And Age of Empires 3. I'm vetoing that one. We don't have the time on the show for an Age of Empires campaign, so vetoed. So it's our third game then. Rios. Okay. So we have Offspring Fling, Rios, and Serious Sam 3.
Why don't you give a small, short description of each?
All right. Well, Offspring Fling is essentially a indie platformer. Serious Sam 3 is a bastard sequel to Serious Sam 2. It's essentially a kind of a funny little first-person shooter. And then Rios, I don't know. I didn't even know I had it, to be honest. So So yeah, Linux. What game do you want?
Nah, fuck it. We'll go with first one.
Offspring Fling.
Yep.
Randuk.
He's having some leg issues, so he may not hear you right away.
Okay. Tana.
She's muted.
You're still muted.
Okay, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't
Anybody
know
in
either.
chat? What do you guys want to see? Well, we're waiting on Randuk to catch up.
Offspring Fling sounds kind of interesting.
Okay. Well, I think we'll go with Offspring Fling. So let me make sure I have that installed and we'll get that going. That's a small
No way
game
you'd
too.
have that fucking game installed.
Yeah, no, there would be no way.
Your
Obviously.
extensive library of
My-
what the hell you have.
My extensive library. Yes.
Mm.
Okay. So Offspring
Offspring-
is.
Offspring Fling is a game about a poor forest creature that has misplaced all her children. She'll have to fight her way through over 100 levels of action puzzle platforming to get them all back home. There's danger around every corner, but she won't rest until her family is safe again.
That's hot.
So I'm gonna put words in Scott's mouth, but he's gonna do this short little section on here, and then he's gonna finish it in a let's play.
What, you want me to actually finish it in a Let's Play? No.
There's over
No.
100 levels of intense puzzles. The last puzzle one you had great success with, remember?
Oh, yeah, I had a fantastic.
3 episodes in and dropped that like a rock.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, dude, I mean, it's because it was like impossibly hard. God damn.
Oh, shit.
God damn. So what's wrong with... Is Randar gone, or is he just lagging? I see him in the call.
Yeah. He said in the chat, in the doc, he was lagging.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Well, worst comes to worst, if it's a network issue, just go ahead and keep your cam off. I don't want to choke your system.
Yeah, that's what I
You guys
texted
can
him.
hear me?
Yep, I
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear you. You might be delayed a little bit still.
Alrighty then.
All right, I'm gonna move forward then.
Yes, moving on
Yeah,
forward.
Quite a bit.
All right. Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo.
Let's move on to steaming pile of news. The big news this week: Halo comes to Steam.
Oh my
You
god!
know, sort of. Halo Spartan Assault comes to Steam on April 4th. The good? It's Halo. The bad? It's Microsoft. Microsoft confirms that it will not be porting any other Halo games to Steam. The ugly? It's a mobile port.
Yep.
What the fuck is
mobile-
with all these fucking mobile ports coming to like PC gaming? Like that's the new big thing all of a sudden. Like, let me port my hideous mobile game that barely works to PC, because it'll be much better there.
I think that's ultimately with the mindset that Steam is such a power horse when it comes to selling games that they figure if they port it to PC, it's got to go on Steam.
Yeah.
And yeah,
How much is this going to cost? Do you know?
I did not see a price. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick because I actually was looking at it a second ago.
I don't
By the way,
know.
Offspring Fling already downloaded. So.
Yeah, that's much better than.
Oh, actually, I have this thing pulled up here. Let's switch to a screenshot here. I'm gonna go ahead and load this up real fast.
I know it's on Windows Mobile. Is it on Android?
I don't know if
Halo
it's on Android, to be honest with you.
Spartan
I'd never even
Assault.
heard of this game until like this whole thing
not.
came about.
I think it's exclusive to Windows 8 phone.
All right, so yeah, we got the yeah, it's probably an exclusive to Windows Phone. I got the thing listed here. It does not say a price. It just says simply that it'll be available on April 4th.
All right, so it's $6.99 on the Windows market. I think I remember that being the price of it on the Windows market when I heard about it come out.
Got it.
Um,
Has a 71 Metacritic score, for what it's worth.
yeah, from what I've heard, people say it's real good on Windows like tablets and stuff, and on the Windows phones. But
Mhm.
I don't have a Windows phone to test on or anything. But it'll be interesting, I guess. I guess it gives it available for more people since I believe it is exclusive on Windows Phone. But I guess if it's the same price, it is what it is. It doesn't really matter at that point. But my bigger problem is like an Angry Birds thing. How does Angry Birds go from 99 cents on a fucking mobile platform to the console version being a $60 fucking game?
Yeah, I know.
That's retarded.
I know.
And it's free on Android. Come on.
Yeah.
But it's in HD.
Who gives a shit? Fucking little Angry Birds. It's retarded.
I don't even I haven't looked at it deeply, so I can't say if there's more levels or they're better levels or anything. But it seems like it's just a money grab with the name at that point.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can play Angry Birds free in Google browser.
Yeah.
I really want to know what Microsoft was thinking with this, because ultimately they had to have understood that if you release your your Halo game on Steam, you almost have to believe that people are going to go, okay, this is cool. Now what? You're going to release Halo 1 or Halo 2? Because both of those are PC games right now.
Yeah.
I can't believe that Microsoft went, oh, well, since it's a mobile game, let's go ahead and port it over. It seems like, I don't know, was Microsoft even involved in the decision to port this game over to Steam? I mean, I almost don't even think that was the case. Who designed this one? Let's see. It says Vanguard Games and 343 Industries. So 343 apparently had some hand in it, but Vanguard Games, I'm assuming, is the major developer who designed this, because I mean, it doesn't even use the Halo engine.
They're working on the next Halo game, right?
Yeah. I think 343 essentially was just there to hand the assets over, but outside of that, I think it's made by Vanguard. And I almost want to put money on the fact that Vanguard was probably the ones that went, hey, let's put this on PC. We'll put it on Steam. It'll be great.
Yep. It makes them more money. I guess that's how it is.
But yeah, I mean,
I
I can't fathom that somewhere along the lines Microsoft didn't go, oh well, if we put this game on, obviously they're gonna want the other Halo games, and Microsoft's not gonna want Halo on Steam, especially with the Steam boxes coming out, the Steam machines, because they don't want their major IP on a competitive box. So I mean, it seems silly in a way. In the long run,
I don't know if it's in the Windows 8 store or not. That'd be an interesting thing to look up. If it's in the Windows 8 store.
That's right. I didn't think about that. That's interesting.
Because then if it's already ported to PC, then I guess it's an easy drop in. It's more revenue scam.
Most things that's developed for the Windows mobile is ported over to Windows 8, because I think they share the actual that store. So I would almost guarantee that it's available, but not all applications are obviously there.
Not to make this a technical podcast, but all the versions, Windows 8, Windows 8 RT, and Windows 8 Phone, are actually all three different stores right now.
Really? When did that?
Fucking stupid.
It's because the back ends are all different right now. Over the next year or two, they're actually working on kind of combining them all into one. So but they got to bring all the back ends together first.
Well, then how come a lot of what they have on the Windows 8 store, a lot of it shares with the Xbox? Because the 360
platform. The 360 uses Windows 8 as one of the Mac OSs. Yes, it is.
When? Because I mean, the 360 was out way before Windows 8.
The Xbox One.
But that's what I'm talking about.
The one.
Now, you see, the Xbox One, I believe, would have the Windows 8 OS on
it.
it.
Yeah, it has Windows 8.
But the 360 one does not.
No, it's Windows XP. It's Windows XP embedded.
XP? Are you shitting me?
Nope, it's Windows XP on that.
Okay, I'm just gonna
That
leave
makes
it
sense.
Well,
XP was out when it came out.
Yeah, because the 360 came out before Vista came out, so it would be XP.
Okay. I don't know enough hardcore facts to argue that, so I can't. So I'll just let I'll have to agree, just on sake of association alone. So Linux, why don't we talk about this next docket on here, because this is another doozy.
Oh god, dude. Facebook buys the Oculus Rift. What? So this was.
Say what?
This was what, $2 billion purchase, or essential purchase.
$2 billion.
Two what?
$1 billion. $2
billion.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. That's
Holy crap.
That's a lot of cheddar.
It hasn't been obviously approved or anything by all the gods of powers that need to be, but I'm sure it's going to go through. There's no competition. There's no monopoly here that could even come close, because these are two totally opposite categories, obviously. You have Facebook, that's social media, and Oculus Rift, which is a game add-on. So the Oculus Rift, about 2-3 years ago now, was a Kickstarter back campaign.
Yeah.
This has created a lot of fuss, let's just put it that way, in the Kickstarter backers. I'm not a Kickstarter backer, so I can't see the comments that are going on, but I've heard they're not very pretty in the comments of the Kickstarter page.
A lot of people asking for their money back, basically.
Yeah.
A lot of people asking.
So...
Well, that's the question that I want to pose to you guys right now. I mean, with a lot of these people asking for their money back, do you feel that's justified? I mean, even if the project itself is being bought out by another company, if there's any details that would assume that the project was still not going forward, do they really deserve their money back?
No, because they're not a capital investor.
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking to make... When you invest in a Kickstarter, you're not, upfront, you're not making money on that money you're giving them. You're, whatever reward level you get in at, you get you get something back, kind of as a thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, I think, though, with Kickstarter, especially as of late, as it gets more popular, is people are looking at that as they're investing in a company. But they're not. They're putting money towards a project that they're passionate or they, want to be part of. But they're not guaranteed anything in return up and beyond that rewards level. So I can see why they're upset. And you backed a small startup company and they turned around, and it's not even, they made $2.5 million, I believe, on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, it was essentially a little under 2.5 mil.
So that probably paid for about their first year of development or whatever. After that, they also had to have venture capitalists come in and, fund, and those are the guys that make they need to make money back on the money they give you.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, just as a Kickstarter backer, I don't, because I've done quite a few Kickstarter backers myself. Probably 15, 20 of them, and I've never expected anything up and beyond what the reward level is.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I'm baffled about why some of these people think they deserve, basically they feel like they deserve the world for what.
Well, I think you're kind of straying a little bit away from the point. I think one of the things that let's at least separate these two topics for a second. When you want to talk about Kickstarter backing, there obviously, like you mentioned, there's a lot of issues that Kickstarter has had. Like a lot of people basically backing games, it gets pledged, it goes beyond the goal, so obviously it gets that money, and then the project drops, and then what happens to the money then? And those people have a legitimate claim for a refund back, because if they don't get their rewards, then there's a problem, and that needs to be fixed.
And Kickstarter did change their terms of service at one point early on because of that situation.
Yeah, so I mean, in that case, I absolutely agree that is a situation where you need to get your money back because you're not being given the rewards that you should. In the Oculus Rift case, I don't know. I have not read any reports about people getting early dev kits. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube talk about their dev kits. So, I mean, obviously some of them are out there. But you had to have understood that at some point this must have been a major project that you're putting money into, because right off the bat, it had John Carmack from ID Software basically giving the Oculus Rift a copy of Doom 3 BFG that'll work in conjunction with the hardware. So you already had ID Software, who's connected with Bethesda, basically right there backing the project out right there on its own. You had Epic Games that was all over this thing too. I mean, they wanted to try and input direct support in their Unreal dev kit that they got for the newest Unreal engine that they're releasing. So you have Epic Games that is now all over it. And when you look at Epic Games, you look at that library of amazing content that they've put out. Gears of War is Epic Games thing, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you got Gears of War, you got Unreal Tournament, which is obviously one of the great-grandfathers of first-person shooters, multiplayers. I mean, you have a great library there. Even Mojang, before this bought out, Mojang was talking about how they wanted to pretty much get an Oculus Rift version of it out there. So, I mean, a lot of these gamers backing this should have known right off the bat that this is going to be big. Gabe Newell himself said that this was the future of gaming. And again, as a PC gamer, that alone should have been like, oh shit, this is going to be big. So having a company pay $2 billion for the rights of it shouldn't have shocked anybody. I think the problem is that it was Facebook.
I think so too. I think Facebook was the problem. I actually, early on, I never backed this but I actually, because I missed the Kickstarter when it came out, but early on, I actually thought that this was going to be picked up by a game company.
I think a lot of people did.
Know whether it would be Steam or if it would be Microsoft or Sony. But it is interesting the buyout came right after pretty much Sony announced their
Morpheus. Yeah, Project Morpheus.
And also the rumors are out that Microsoft is also working on their own for the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually really thought when I heard the Sony thing, when I heard the Microsoft rumors, I thought this was going to be Valve, to be honest, buying them.
Yeah. Lord knows they got the money for it.
It would have made sense. In my sense, I think it would have made sense, but I think I also read a couple articles that had said that Valve was not interested in buying them. They were interested in working very closely with them, but they were never interested in buying them.
And they still will have the opportunity to. I mean, from what I understand with this buyout, Facebook isn't claiming that the VR software is going to be solely for Facebook. It's essentially just going to be a brand.
Facebook is buying them as a whole to work under them, but it's going to maintain a separate company.
Yeah,
so they're just going to have, they're going to have the funds of Facebook to use towards development.
And they're about $39 billion in capital right now. So I mean, it's quite a bit of money that you could use to develop on that.
So from the, I read the GameStop.com article a little bit, and Mark
GameSpot
commented what?
GameSpot? Yeah, you said GameStop. You got to properly credit, good sir. Properly credit. Quality podcasting.
So Mark Zuckerberg, he said you won't need to log into Facebook account every time you want to use the Oculus Rift. Now that concerns me right there, that he says every time. Does that mean the first time you go to use it, you're gonna have to?
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I mean, you got to understand that they're probably gonna want to brand it. I mean, you pay $2 billion for a project, you're gonna put your brand on something. And, having Facebook integrated into gaming isn't completely new. I mean, especially like Rift, for example, which is an MMORPG, which is funny, we were talking about Oculus Rift, but Rift, for example, had social share built into the MMO. So basically, you were able to send an update about your status right there. If you unlocked an achievement, it would automatically post on your Facebook, Twitter, and let everyone know that you can, or that you got that achievement. So, I mean, having that type... actually, even a better example, Raptor. I mean, you look at Raptor, basically, it automatically updates your social medias to let you know whenever you go into an elite rank or anything like that.
I do want to correct this. This is not Mark Zuckerberg saying this stuff. This is actually Lucky from Oculus.
Ah, okay.
Okay, saying this stuff. But still, it's still worded interestingly that it makes you stop and think.
You most likely have to have a Facebook account.
Yeah.
I don't know if you will have to use the Facebook account to use it, because ultimately it is a peripheral.
Yeah.
So when you buy the peripheral, you will have some form of control over it. But I wouldn't be surprised if you have to have a Facebook account to like either buy it or you can link your Facebook account into it to share your experiences or something like that.
Now
I can see.
Here's an interesting comment he made, that he could actually be eating fucking Oculus Rifts for dinner after this comment, if this pans out to be an interesting statement.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are upset, and I get that. If you feel the same way a year from now, I'd be very surprised. That is an interesting statement.
It's a bold statement.
Yeah.
It's a bold statement, but at the same time, I also kind of agree with it, because I think that we don't really have any major details that say how much Facebook is going to be integrated into the Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Outside of branding, we really don't know what is going to go forward. I mean, we have statements, but the statements is too early right now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is damage control.
Yeah, and as he put it, Zuckerberg won't control Oculus. This accusation. Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. This partnership, let's just go with that word instead, gives us more control of our destiny, not less.
Yeah,
and I think it just comes down to the money's now there over their heads, that they can say, hey, we need money for this. We need to bring this developer in. Okay, no question. Here's a check for that salary.
Indeed. So, since we were kind of discussing this earlier, Marcus Pearson, or I think that's how you pronounce the name, I could be wrong on that, a.k.a. Notch, has basically completely backed out of this now. Because ultimately he feels that he does not want to get involved in social network gaming, and feels that, because there is a market for this, and because there will be other peripherals that will ultimately do the same thing, he doesn't want to work with the Oculus Rift anymore. You'll still have unofficial versions of Minecraft that'll work with it, but there will never be an official version of it, at least not at this point in time.
He calls Facebook creepy, and to a point I get that.
Do you guys...
What? Go ahead.
No, Randark, why don't you go ahead and ask your question?
This is going to be the death knell for the...
The death knell for Oculus Rift?
Be the death knell for the Oculus Rift? I mean, yeah, because now indie developers are going to be just shying away from this thing like crazy.
I think...
And that's really what it had going for it.
Lucky said they're going to be still continuing to put a lot of resources into indie development content and hiring people. They, and again, with this partnership, they say they can even expand that even more. I think it's going to be interesting. Over the next, say, 6 months, I think, is what we're going to really know. And it's going to depend on how Facebook plans to, interact with this device.
Yeah. Is
it just going to be, Oculus Rift and sponsored by Facebook written on the, in title, or is it going to be some form of integration? If it's integration, I think it's going to have a very hard time in a lot of markets, but it's also going to do well in other markets. It's just a tight rope, and I think this also brings light that some numbers Facebook had came out with last quarter was showing a huge drop in younger users. So I almost want to bet this is also maybe a pull to try to get some younger users back into Facebook. So that's where it could get interesting, is how the integration is with Facebook. Obviously none of this is known to the public at this point, but it's just,
well, from what I can tell,
we gotta wait for that.
Yeah, from what I can tell, it's like Facebook wants to use the technology ultimately for its own site, but at the same time, it doesn't want to lay dominion over it. And I think that's really what people are getting kind of worried about, because ultimately, if Facebook basically claims that you absolutely will have to be integrated with Facebook in order to use the peripheral, that's
it dies.
That's where it's going to die, obviously.
But I agree. I think,
I think it wants to create a program that'll ultimately use Facebook as a form of social media using the VR software. Yeah, and if they own the technology, it'll be a lot easier for them to develop for it. And ultimately, the more money they throw at it, it can only be better at that point. So
I know, like Mark Zuckerberg said in the past, about because he was before this whole thing came up. I think he was questioned about, what he thought of the Oculus Rift and stuff, and he said he could see it being used, sort of as like basically Skype replacements. So it's almost like you're instead of talking on a webcam, seeing somebody on a webcam, you're seeing them in the same virtual space that you're in, which obviously makes the mind think that you're there talking, because when you talk over a webcam, it's not an actual person to person.
It's like looking through a window.
Yeah, and where this could almost be like a person-on-person interaction.
It definitely has the potential to. There's a is that college?
Oh my god.
There's a College Humor skit that actually made fun of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember watching that with me? Yeah.
God.
Oh no, I don't know if that wasn't College Humor. That was Mega 64 that did that.
Either way, it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
Mega 64 had a skit based on that, which I thought was hilarious. Where basically, the guy dumped his girlfriend because he was having too much fun masturbating to porn on the Oculus Rift. I thought that was good, but no, I don't think that this partnership will kill the Oculus Rift, and I only think that until we get a clear statement of what's going to happen with the Oculus Rift, now that Facebook owns the company, obviously, it's really too early to say. I can only say that I don't look at this personally as a bad thing. I look at this as now they have the money to ultimately make the software and the hardware that is involved with Oculus Rift as good as they possibly can, because now they got the money behind it to kind of work out the bugs, make it look good. It all really boils down to how Facebook treats it. And then from that point forward, obviously it will either sell or won't sell. I'm still looking forward to the Oculus Rift. I don't know how well it's going to work with my lazy eye, mind you. But I'm still very much interested in what the Oculus Rift will bring.
Like they said too, this also gives them the option of pulling away from. They've been kind of hinging on the mobile processing power and stuff like that for the processors and stuff. This actually will give them the opportunity to pull away from that a little bit and actually design a chip, or have another company, work with another company to design a chip that's more suitable for this versus a mobile chip. So we'll see how it goes. But I think it could be a really good thing, because it gives them the money they need to be able to compete against the Sonys and the Microsofts out there right now.
Yeah.
Being a little startup, I think when I saw Sony reveal theirs, I was like, oof, that's going to be hard to overcome for them, because, as much as you can say, get venture capitalists, it's still not as much as like Sony can dump into a device.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Sony has a history of both sound and video through their parent companies, and they have so many years of experience that it is going to be absolutely incredible to see what they do with Morpheus. It's you're going to have some serious freaking competition in that case. The only thing that can really save the Oculus Rift in that case is that Sony isn't interested in making this a PC peripheral. They clearly stated that they want this to work with PS4, because the PS4 hardware is ultimately going to work with the Morpheus. So until they make any plans to kind of help condition it for PC, I think Oculus Rift is safe. But
yeah, I think so too. But there's the underlying part though. A PS4 and a like the Xbox Ones now, x86 based. It's going to be interesting to see, because it won't take much for people to develop drivers for these things either.
Oh no, and they did the same thing with the Kinect and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I understand that.
And Notch responded to a bunch of people sending him different stuff that he is a man driven by principle, not capitalism. So I guess I'll just have to get used to the occasional name calling. And to be fair, he truly is. When Minecraft started taking off huge, EA came in and said, "Look, we want to buy this game," and numbers were never actually said, but I imagine it was huge.
Oh yeah.
And he never sold it, which for God for fucking sake and bids is probably a good thing for Minecraft because it would be dead by now.
Oh, we'd have Minecraft free to play. What's that? You want another diamond? Pay $4.99 and you get the 20 diamonds package. You know, we'll get nickel and dimed at the wazoo if fucking EA owned Minecraft.
Sounds like most public servers nowadays, actually. To be
Oh
honest.
yeah. Well, you know, the donations are no longer there, so they figure they might as well, you know, sell the shit.
Yeah.
And it just sucks.
Just one more source. I read an article also on time.com. You know, and so Gordon Birch, a professor at the University of Minnesota who studies crowdfunding trends, he says, what more could anyone want from a Kickstarter project? And I gotta say, you know, I don't disagree with that either.
No.
You're a startup company. You're trying to make money, and you know when something like this lands in your hands, why not?
Definitely. I mean, you know, you should really be proud of the company that it picked up enough attention to be bought out.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that a lot of people are like, ew, Facebook, but you know, if you want a company to succeed, these situations are what helps them succeed.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Again, it also kind of boils down to how much integration, but at the end of the day, you know, it really boils down to the company succeeding, and that's what you really should want with a Kickstarter. You know, and this is
I think so too.
It's a
And
great
I think
situation.
I agree again, if it was a Valve or you know,
Oh my God! If it was Valve,
it would've
there
been
would
fine.
not be enough towels to mop up the semen that would come from every gamer's penis. They just would not be able to clean up that much orgasm in one space, because everyone would be like, "Oh my God, Game Duel!" Oh.
You know, I think if Microsoft had bought it, it would be kind of the same boat. If
Oh,
Sony bought
yeah.
it, it would be it would be definitely a split. It wouldn't be as bad it is, but it wouldn't be as many fanboys.
Yeah.
But you know, definitely if Valve bought it, that would have been the huge like kudos around from every direction they could
Yeah,
have seen.
from a PC gamer perspective, I don't think anyone would have hated on it. I don't think a single person would. And honestly, it would have been smart, especially with the Steam machines. But
Yeah.
there's still a chance for that peripheral to work with the Steam machines, obviously.
So what's the first game? Farmville VR?
Farmville VR, yes, it's unconfirmed.
Oh my
unconfirmed.
God.
I stopped playing that shit.
Also,
Hey, Farmville 2 just came out, I think.
oh my God, that's funny.
God.
We'll also have Mafia Wars and Candy Crush Saga VR and Farm Heroes VR. Yeah,
Mafia Wars VR could be good.
they could be actually. I was thinking about that. Yeah, you know what game I miss social media wise? It would be Vampire Wars. That game was cool. Anyway, moving on. Hey, hey Randark, why don't you go ahead and take us off into the next section?
All right, next section is inside our Steam box.
Mm.
Mm.
Whoa.
Linux, what have you been playing?
Not too much actually. Played a little bit of Pocket Trains this week actually. I think I'm at like level 8.5 or so right now. Let's check. It's gonna make a bunch of noise. Told you. Yeah, level 8.5. So I haven't played much this week. Got bound up with work. But other than that, a little bit of NASCAR 14 for my YouTube series. A little bit of tiny bit of Rust this week. Not much, just a tiny bit. As well as, oh fuck, why not say it? Goat Simulator. I
Woo!
played some Goat Simulator this week. That'll be coming out my channel tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, so you can see that if you guys want.
We'll advertise it at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Your channel, since you have decided that even though we were going to keep our gaming channels separate, you're like still retweeting your fucking releases on LNS's Twitter account, jerk.
But other than that, yeah.
Hope you enjoyed those 2 extra views, dick.
Yeah, 2 extra. That's all. That's about right. Man, a little bit of Minecraft, not too much of that either. Just mainly this week's been about work. We're just trying to work on some contract stuff that is at issues right now.
Yeah.
So that sucks. But hey, yeah, it is what it is. Whoever knows.
Silence. Randark, who's next? I guess I'll go.
You might
So-
be the one to go.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
You might be lagging a little bit. That's all right. So I've been playing a little bit of Rust. I actually have stopped playing on the server that we were playing on before. They changed servers and wiped, and I don't know. I just
So they changed servers to fix the lag. The lag is still there.
is the lag still there?
Yeah, I hopped on
It's
the
because
other
of
day.
their like umpteen million plugins,
Yeah.
man. I mean, if they just tone that down, it wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, I mean, after that experience, we'll go ahead and just make the announcement now, and then we'll tell people about it another time. But I decided that I just want to make my own Rust server. I'm so sick and tired of basically dealing with servers where there's just like a little bit cool here, but a lot of really shit here. And I figured, you know what, if I'm going to custom tailor what exactly I want, as well as just get the server myself and do it. So we will be having an official LNS Rust server as soon as it's ready for launch. We will have the IP posted on Twitter. So there should be good times. Very good times. No admin abuse, nothing like that. So me and Linux aren't going to spawn 300 fucking airdrops after the server's released.
That would never happen.
No, that never happens.
I'm
It
glad
never,
you said after.
never happens. Never happens.
I may have spammed console slightly.
Oh, I got the video. I'll play it later, but I got the video of it. It was interesting. But yeah, so I was playing a little bit of Rust. I've also been playing a little bit of the Cave Story on my 3DS. Really, really enjoying that again. I also bought Elder Scrolls Online. I know I said I wouldn't, but I really did have an enjoyable experience with beta, so I bought the Imperial Edition so I can play any race and any faction.
You know DJ's gonna come back for you on that one, right?
Oh, DJ already sent me a message on Twitter going, he called me a sellout. And I essentially told him, it's like, I'd tell you to pull the tampon out of your ass, but one does not simply use tampons in Mordor. He used MaxiPad the Red. Anyway, really terrible Lotro joke, sorry. Anyway, but yeah, I bought that. I'm really excited about that. We get early access tomorrow, so I'm going to be playing the shit out of that.
I'll see you in 4 weeks.
Yeah, a little bit of Minecraft, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I really haven't played too many games this week. It was mostly catch up.
You had a busy work week too.
I had a very busy work week.
He was a busy man to even get a hold of.
Busy man. Busy man.
So Tana, what have you been up to?
Not much. Since I got back from Italy, I've been focusing on my schoolwork for college. Because I've been behind in some classes, because I had 2 weeks off of that. But I've been playing like a couple Android games on my phone. I have the Humble Bundle on my phone, so I've been playing Jack Lumber and A for Awesome and Robot Unicorn Attack.
Unicorn Attack. What the fuck
Yes.
is that?
It's a casual side scroller that you have a literally a robot unicorn that you can actually custom make, and you basically fly through like a sky, try to collect different things, and as you advance through the scrolling, it keeps going faster and faster, and eventually you crash into something and die horribly. It's pretty entertaining and addicting at the same time.
Gotcha. All right, so Randark asked to be skipped, so we will be skipping Randark, and we'll be moving right over to the Flash Roundup. Yeah, so the Flash Roundup this week, which we don't have any graphics or music for that. So
You don't even need the soundboard for reverb.
I know. Yeah, she just muted. So for the Flash
Stop! Get out there! Kick your ass.
Oh, was he trying to eat my bamboo plants
The
again?
bamboo again, poison himself.
You know what? Let that kid eat the bamboo. He could just die.
That was great. We just had a gamer chick with a headset on go after a cat.
Only right here on LNS. All right. So the Flash roundup this week, I'm actually going to go ahead and pop over to the game here in a second. Give me... Yeah, there we go. Nope. Black screen. Black screen. All right.
Those always work excellent.
Yeah, there we go. So Treasure Fusion. Treasure Fusion is just a casual little puzzle game. And essentially all you do is just like what you see in the game. You just kind of match stuff together. That is really fucking loud. I wonder if I can turn that down. Oh, no settings.
You just blasted everybody's eardrums.
Yeah, oh well. Yeah, basically you just sit there and combine all the little currencies and go from there. All 5 people that we have in chat room are like, oh god. But yeah, you basically just do this for a little while, and the whole point of it is to get as high of a treasure as possible. Very casual, very just non-demanding. You could kind of take it at your own pace, which I do at work, because, you know, I'm kind of a lazy guy like that. But yeah, there you go, I got a sapphire right there. And basically, you gotta go up as far as you can. It's a fun little game. There's really no pressure to it. You can play it for as long as you want or as little as you want. And it's on Congregate, so you can check it out yourself. How's that? That's quality podcasting, right?
Excellent.
Yeah. Except for, you know, deafening people with the game sounds.
This week, we don't have a green light, but I'll just, fuck it, I'll just say it from last week, man.
All right.
Go thumbs up, pointer perfect.
You mean Point Perfect?
Point perfect, yeah. What
Pointer
did I say?
Perfect. You said Pointer Perfect.
Making a new game up here as we go, eh?
Yep.
I'll tell you right now, I probably will never ever fucking play it ever again. But that being said, it's a game. If you want to, if you can tolerate being beaten down over and over, it's a great fucking game.
It sounds like it.
We got no after party today. We are gonna go try to record some more Castle Crashers.
Castle Crashers. Oh yeah.
If you guys haven't been checking that out, make sure you guys check our YouTube page. That's where it's been happening. We're probably on episode like 6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, should be episode 6 up there now. So our first recording session was definitely fun. Hopefully we can get back into it tonight and record some more.
Yeah, I think it'll be a blast. Absolute blast. I actually have my my 360 controller hooked up to the computer, so now I can actually play it without the keyboard. That was such a pain in the ass to try and guess what everything did. You know? So
I actually brought my controller this weekend, so yay.
oh, there you go.
Nice.
Cool. All right,
We're all professionals.
so before we get into the Steam Roulette game, let's go ahead and tell you guys where you can find all of our awesome stuff. You can find our website over at latenightsteamer.com. You can check out a YouTube channel of ours at youtube.com/latenightsteamer. You could join our Steam group at steamcommunity.com/groups/latenightsteamer. And I strongly advise that you do that because we will be updating the calendar with all of our events. You can join us on Twitter at twitter.com/LNsteamer. And, of course, with your Oculus Rift, give us a thumbs up over at Facebook at facebook.com/latenightsteamer. So there you go.
Now, what about that GameVox thing? Andy said it's a piece of junk and we never use it.
Oh, God, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious that last week Andy was like, nobody fucking uses it. You and me have used that religiously, and we've been having people in Rust come on there and use it with us. It's like, how do you know people aren't using it unless you get on it yourself? Actually, even better, me and Randark were using it when we were playing God mode.
Yeah.
So there you
I
go.
don't think DJ uses it then.
DJ doesn't use it. Yeah.
DJ doesn't know how to use anything.
DJ doesn't
Other than his voice
know.
first.
Here's the thing: DJ doesn't know how to use it unless he hates it. Like Google Hangouts, for example, he hates it, but he's the first person to teach you how to use it. Don't ask me how that fucking works. But yes, we do have a game box, and if you go into our Steam community, you'll obviously get a link for that as well. And we strongly advise that you use our game box. We have a lot of fun using it. It is premier audio quality, minus spikes here and there, which kind of suck, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, it's fun, and we already have a room set up. So if you want to play like some Counter-Strike, there's a room for that. If you want to play some Elder Scrolls Online, which I will be making a guild on that one, by the way, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. you could join us there on Gamebox as well. It'll be fun.
Excellent.
All right. So let me go ahead and stop the outro music, and let's go ahead and get Offspring Fling going. I may have to lower the audio because these games are always so loud.
Mm-hmm.
And let me also, oh yeah, that's loud. I'm going to turn the stream audio down real quick so that way I don't deafen everybody listening to the show. Wow, you're loud! Holy cow! Give me a second, guys. Oh my goodness.
Well,
You hear me?
you're already deaf. Now you're more.
Oh, I can't hear anything. And my mouse wheel is lagging for some reason. Here we go. Alright, music off. We're going to turn this thing down too while we're at it. Good God. Good fuck God. Alright. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so that's turned down. Let me go ahead and turn the video back up now. So there we go.
Excellent.
I wonder why it's still lagging. Jesus. Alright, so let me go ahead and switch to the game. I'm also going to switch my Hangout so that way you guys can see it. Let's see. I think it's the...
Just watch from your screen.
Yeah, you can watch from my screen, but... Screen share, here we go. Boom.
Wow.
Shabam. Start screen
Still
share.
see your face. Oh, there we go.
There you go, there you go. Alright, so let me switch the... thing here.
Oh, we're gonna have to actually do the fucking tutorial? What the fuck? is this
Yeah,
shit?
it forces the tutorial. There we go.
Now
Also-
you sounded like me.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know what? I could just have my mic muted and just you can hear me off yours.
Oh, okay, well, fine. Do it that way. Alright, because I turned the music off, of course, I have the feeling that there's probably some instructions there.
I'm sure there's some music that was playing.
Yeah. I turned the music off, dude. I don't want to get flagged. Alright. Oh, yeah, look at this. Yeah.
I hope it's playing much smoother than it is coming through Google.
It actually isn't playing that much more smoother. I have so much input lag right now.
You put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Raise the roof.
Freeze, motherfucker!
Break yourself before you wreck yourself. Anyway.
Squat. Oh, you better run.
Oh shit.
There we go.
What the hell's going on?
It's like, it's laggy. I don't know why.
Oh, like Kirby.
Yeah, it's like,
Why is it lagging so bad? Jesus. Alright. I'm just gonna try my best. Here, let's maybe turn the graphics down. Can't believe I have to do this. I think Google Hangouts just really hates me playing games. Skip.
seems like
There we go. Alright. Oh, that's running a little smoother.
There you go. Whee!
Oh, one of my kids. Come here, kid. What the fuck, man?
Looks like
It's an
Pikachu.
offspring. Fling him.
Too easy. I didn't even know what I did.
You probably did you go through that exit?
Yeah. Apparently you gotta pick up your kids.
And
There we go. Boom.
You did it!
Yay!
Alright. Too tall. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Ah, I just threw my kid.
oh shit, Jesus.
Fuck you, little man.
Yes!
Oh. Fuck off.
They can take some abuse.
Maybe that's where it's offspring
be so
fling,
awesome if
'cause
for
you're
me play
flinging your
graphics.
offspring.
Oh yeah. Come here, you little shit. Mm.
So what's the point of this game again? We said it at the top of the show, but
Fling your offspring and you
Flinging your offspring.
Yep.
Bitch. Oh, shut her right into the door.
Corner pocket.
Hey, ball, corner pocket. Yeah.
yeah, you're just collecting all your children. Yep.
Yeah, basically.
Over 100 levels of action puzzle platforming.
And it's getting laggy again for some reason. Good lord.
Your computer sucks.
Bing! Oh, actually,
Oh!
Oh.
how dare you say that? My computer works great. Uh-oh, can't fit through there, too fat. Alright, there we go. And, like Michael Jordan, for 3! I got that moves like Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger. You little shit.
Oh.
Get your ass in there.
Child abuse.
It's only child abuse if they call the police.
No, it's only if they get caught.
Take a lesson, Tana.
No! Yeah, Tano's like, I'm never gonna have kids with this guy.
You're just gonna start throwing them.
I saw this in a game once! Woo!
Isn't that how you get them to their crib?
Oh yeah, you know, I go for threes. This is what it is. I learned it from Joden. Come here, you little shit. Oh, I'm too fat. No, I'm too fat.
There's no way.
Get off me, you shit bricks.
Just throw. Oh, that one's not. How are you gonna talk?
I think I just gotta throw him over there. Bitch! Bitch! Aww.
No, that's not it.
Over one and that little platform.
I think I could actually jump up there. Let's see.
Like to the right. That
Yep,
little-
but when you hit the offspring's head, you can't get there either. And I can't.
Oh.
Unless I gotta shoot it over there. Oh, maybe that's it. And then shoot it that way. Yeah!
So I was partially right.
Yeah.
Partially.
Alright, this will be the last level. I can't take much more of this.
Whee!
Oh my god.
So that means no let's play?
What's that?
No let's play?
No, let's play. Yeah!
If you could.
No,
What's that?
it could be a lot worse.
This
It
game's not
could be
bad.
a lot worse than it is.
Oh no, this game's actually not bad. I kind of like it, but
So,
the
let me
problem
just
is
phrase
the lag.
You got 1 minute and 10 seconds. The old time was 23 seconds.
Yeah,
Fail.
fail indeed. All right, so we're gonna close that out. We're done with that. But Offspring, you know, and honestly, it's not a bad game. I do like it. I just, I think because I'm streaming, it's all like, right now. So I
Yeah,
should probably,
between Hangouts and the stream, it probably
yeah, it's just creating too much.
computer's probably pretty much like, yeah, you can go fuck off anytime now.
Word to your mama. All right, guys. So we will see you next week. Everyone wanna say goodbye? Or...
Bye.
Bye.